What's up, everybody? So glad to see you here. I hope you all enjoyed well in this summer holidays and prepared well for your study. Most of you, I think. So once again, welcome back. And let's begin this class by recollecting what we studied or discussed in our previous chapters. So, while moving to the first chapter, we discussed about reproduction from seeds, structure of a seed, that is seed leaves, seed coat, embryo, and condition necessary for germination like air, water and sunlight. Then seed dispersal and its agent, which means dispersal by wind, dispersal by water, dispersal by animals and dispersal by explosion. Another one is reproduction from other parts like reproduction from stem, reproduction from roots, reproduction from leaves and spores. And the last one we discussed about is crops, like a type of crops, that is kharif and rabi crops, then crop protection, and the last topic is storage of crops. That's all about chapter 1. And while coming to chapter 2, we discussed about habitat, two types of habitat, that is terrestrial and aquatic habitat, then body coverings of animals like scales, shell, fur, feathers, etc. And eating habits in animals, which means on the basis of their eating habits, animals are classified into 3, that is herbivores, omnivores and carnivores. Next is breathing in animals. Here we discussed about how breathing is possible in land animals, amphibians, aquatic animals as well as insects. In this session, we will be knowing more about movement in animals. Yes, in order to move, clear? In order to move, animals have different body parts. They move from one place to another in search of their food, shelter and protection. So let's discuss about how movement is possible in insects, water animals, aerial animals and land animals. First one is movement in insects. We know that all insects have 6 legs which are used for their movement. All insects have 6 legs which are used for their movement. Take the example of an ant or a cockroach. They crawl on their legs, which means they use their legs to move along the ground. Clear? What about an insect called a water-board man? This water-board man use their legs as oars. Clear? They use their legs as oars, which means they use their legs in such a way that it is similar to that of rowing a boat. Clear? Water-board men use their legs as oars, which means they use their legs to swim in such a way that it is similar to that of rowing a boat. Clear? Then, next, what about a grasshopper? A grasshopper use their hind limbs, which means the legs which is found on the back side of their body. So they use their hind limbs for hopping. Next, there is another sets of insects like housefly, butterfly and bee. How do they move? they use their two pairs or one pairs of wings to fly or to move. Clear? What we discussed here? Here we discussed about a movement in insects. So how this ant and cockroach move? They use their legs to crawl. And what about water bottom? They use their legs as oars to swim in water. Then what about a grasshopper? A grasshopper use their hind limbs for hopping. Then another sets of insects like a housefly, butterfly and bee, they use their one or two pairs of wings to fly or to move. Have you ever wondered how water animals moves in water? Yes. Different types of animals use different organs to move in water. Clear? Take the example of a fish. Fishes have a pair of fins which helps them to keep balance and a pair of tail fins which helps them to change the direction. Clear? Then what about a frog? A frog has webbed feet which helps them to swim in water. What about a turtle? A turtle has four limbs which are called flippers. Clear? A turtle has four limbs which are called flippers to push the water back and swim. Next is movement in aerial animals. We can see that birds are flying high in the air. Do you know what is science behind that? Or what makes the birds fly high in the air? First of all, we know that birds have wings which helps them to fly. Secondly, the bones of the birds are hollow and they have streamlined body. Yes, as usual, birds have wings which helps them to fly, and then they have hollow bones, which means their bones are empty from inside. So these hollow bones makes the birds weightless or light. Clear? These hollow bones make the body of bird very light or weightless. And streamlined body. What is the meaning of streamlined? The bodies of the birds are designed in such a way that it offers very little resistance to air. Clear? The bodies of the birds are designed in such a way that it offers very little resistance to air. So these conditions make the birds fly high in the air. And we can see that some birds like emu, kiwi and ostrich have poorly developed wings. Clear? They have poorly developed wings. So that makes them unable to fly. Clear? So dear students, watch the video from the beginning till end, and if you have any doubt, please contact me and do your work properly.